This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone.
Hello,
Hi.
sir.
Shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me share my screen. So whatever we have discussed yesterday in yesterday's session, do you guys have any questions or any issues understanding that?
No, not as of now.
Okay. So as we'll move ahead, okay. So the sessions will be on higher level and we will move the pace. So please concentrate on the session going forward. Like we need to, whenever you are facing any doubt, any questions, please ask right away over the session only. Okay.
I have one question. So, is this session is going to be recorded and shared with us
Yeah,
or
of
no?
course. It will be recorded and it will be
Okay.
saved. So you are getting every day's recording over the WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, yeah. So, as those were demo sessions, I was not sure if this one will be also recorded and
No, if
shared.
that only demonstrations recordings will be provided. An actual session is starting from today. So today we will start with the model scripting approach and the setup.
Okay, so only recordings will be available, or there is some documentation as well.
No, there will be documentation as well at the end of the session. Okay, and there will be the scripts we will also share. But before ending the session, we'll not share because if we'll share, then we will not do hands-on, right?
Yeah, correct.
That that's why by end of the session, you will get all the documents uploaded over the cloud, and you will get the link of that.
I'm asking because it's very difficult to find some specific part in recorded videos. So in documents, it's easy.
Yeah, fine. Once you attend all the session, na, Avi,
Mhm.
then what will happen? You learn something, okay, and you have the knowledge of that. Once you will refer the document, you will quickly remind that.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so let us start without any delay. So yesterday, we discussed about log file location. We discussed about trace mode, debug mode, the cookies, caches. Now we'll discuss about the feeder. So basically, this is parameterization. Why do we need parameterization in performance testing? Would you like to answer that?
And to check the script with various values with different iterations and different users.
Okay. Anyone else?
It's real-time simulation.
To simulate real-time simulations, okay, basically to simulate real-time users behavior and distributed load. Because let us suppose couple of examples only I will give. Okay, if I have different user IDs, then different user IDs will have different authentication.
Just one, sorry to interrupt.
Hmm?
If your screen is in sharing mode,
I'm in sharing mode. You cannot see my screen?
no, I can't.
Uh, Everybody else?
No, we are not also able to see it.
Okay. Now it's visible, right?
No, no, not yet.
Let me know once it is visible.
Yes, now it's visible.
Yeah, so user IDs will have different authentication level, okay? So each time new users will come, a new unique session will be created. That means new transaction, basically not transaction, session new request will hit. There will be more hits to the server. That's why we use user IDs. Parameterization basically. Let us suppose you are working on a e-commerce website. We have middleware or database where we have stored the product IDs. So if I'll go and search for one product ID, it will go search and it will be cached. Next time it will not call will not go to the database. Basically, the request is cached. It will go and fetch it because in database also, if you'll run one query, okay, then next time it will be cached. So we use different combination of product IDs. Clear why we use parameterization? There are different use cases also, but this is the basic one to understand why do we use parameterization. Yeah, so how do we declare the feeder? Basically, parameterization is called as feeder in Gatling. So val is for variable. We declare a variable. What is a variable name? A feeder name. Okay. And then we have CSV. CSV implies that the file format will be of CSV type. Then we have the file path and or file name over inverted commas. Then we have dot the random, or we can give it in a different sequential manner, whatever manner we want to fetch our data, pass our data to the scripts. So we have different modes to pick up the data from the CSV file. We have unique, we have random, we have circular. We have one more. What is that? Yeah, we have shuffle. So what does unique means? Is data has unique value. Random, it will randomly pick or pass the data. Circular will pick the data in sequential mode and recycle at end of the file. Basically, when the data has exhausted and it will reach to the end of the file, then it will start the first data again. Shuffle. Shuffle is sequential only, but it will shuffle the data before the test starts. Understood? Any questions regarding parameterization? Hmm? Tell me. Now here comes the correlation. So why do we need correlation? Basically to handle the dynamic values. Let us suppose I'm running one test where I have login and authentication has to be picked up for the next request that is coming in the response of the first request, and I need to pass that to maintain the session. There we will use correlation basically to handle the dynamic kind of data. So we have a dot check function for correlation. Dot save as a function where we give the variable name where it will save the data. This one. Here pattern will be there. Before pattern we have the LB, that is left boundary, then we'll have the RB, and this pattern will be regular expression, basically regex. So this is how we put the correlation over the Gatling script, one of the ways, but there are different formats of it to save us randomly, to save the occurrence, to save the old IDs. Yeah. So any questions for parameterization and correlation theory? No questions? You understood everything? The concept? If you'll not speak, I have to move ahead.
Will we define the match number?
Match number I'll tell you, but do you understand the parameterization correlation concept, how it will be implemented in Gatling?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you guys know writing the regular expressions?
Yes, in Jmeter that one regex is frequently using and it's working as well.
Okay. Everybody knows in the session, anybody who don't have that much knowledge in writing the regular expressions for correlation? So that I will show you, or I will skip this.
No, I mean, I know the basics of it. Haven't written anything.
Okay, it's a basic only. Okay, let me show you. Okay, I'm going to regex 101 just to validate my request. Let us suppose I need to capture infinite page value. Okay. Can you tell me what I should write here? This is LB. This is expression. Got it right. This is my LB. This is my under brackets my expression, and this is my right boundary. I'll copy this, and where I have to save that. So between this one, right? Between my regular expression, I'll put that. Then whatever value that has been extracted through this regular expression will be saved into this variable name, and you can pass this variable name into your next request. That's how it works. Okay, so going forward, apart from this, what we have to do now, we'll be starting the modular scripting. Since today we need to do setup. So I have already set up in my laptop. So what do you guys suggest? Should I set up it in one of your laptop, or I should just give you the steps and you'll follow?
Yeah, we can follow you.
Okay, but I will just give you the setup, steps, but setup will you have to do, or else you one of you share your screen. I'll let you know how to do the setup.
Yeah, you can share the steps. We can set it up.
Okay, okay. Have JDK8 installed in your system.
Open
Define.
JDK will work, correct?
Yeah, JDK8 will work. Open JDK will also work. Define the path variable till slash bin. Install Maven. Installing Maven is just unzipping the Maven folder.
We need to download from internet and just unzip it.
From internet, right?
Mhm.
Define the Maven home path till bin. So this is the Maven home variable name, and this is the part of the Maven where Maven is kept. Java path variable will be also something like Java underscore home. Then
Maven home, those will be in caps later.
yeah, should be in caps, right? Then download Gatling high charts. Install IntelliJ. Add Scala ID plugin from IntelliJ. Okay, let me show you. So once you download this, you have to verify, okay, whether it is working or not working. So how to uh, verify Java? You run Java slash version. Now check the Maven version. MVN minus V will give you the Maven version. Now we have one command to create the Maven project. MVN archetype colon generate. You have to run this. Yes, I have run this. See, it's creating the project. My project is already created, so it might fail, but for you it will work. Okay, it worked this time. So choose a, you will get some option. Okay, choose a number or apply filter. So that value will be Gatling. Now it is asking for choosing one number. I'll put one. Then it is asking for the version. I'll give here 42. Then it will go connect to the Maven and it will download some repository repositories. Then it asks for the group ID. Group ID I will give Gatling dot demo. Artifact ID I'll get package dot Gatling dot demo. Snapshot I have to give 1.0. The package value I'll give as package, and then it will ask for y or no. I'll give yes. Okay. So build success. My Gatling dot demo project has been created. Now what you have to do, you have to go to the IntelliJ. You have to go to settings. In settings we have plugins. So we have one installed plugins, Scala. You need to install this in the plugin of the IntelliJ. Okay. Once it is installed, restart your IntelliJ and open the project from the path that has been generated over here. Okay. So let me show you from where you can download the So if you are using Windows 64-bit, you have to download this JDK. This one, not this one. This one. Download this one. This is of 73.7 MB. Download this. Now Maven. So once you will visit to Maven Apache org install.html, this website will give you how to download and install the Maven. So it is also showing you to install the Java path also. So you can follow this step and you can verify if your Maven is installed or not. It is very important to install it Maven home at the path variable. Else what will happen? Your Maven will only run from the path where Maven installed, but it should run from anywhere in your path. Else your IntelliJ will not be able to pick up this, and you can run your test only through the Maven path, else not. That's the important thing. If try installing it. If you face any issue, let me know in the next session.
Sorry to interrupt, but what is the use of Maven? Means I never use Maven. So
Yeah,
it's like a
I'll
tool or a language or something like
yeah, just I'll explain you uh,
that. Okay.
just after this. Okay, now Gatling. Download the Gatling. We have Gatling dot high charts over there. So visit there. There will be two versions. You have to download the open source version. Correct?
Okay.
So what is Maven? So Maven is uh, just a build tool. Okay, that help us to create, build, and run the environment or automation with ID or any specific project structure, not only ID, any project structure. So basically, it's a build tool. Similarly, like Gradle. You have heard about Gradle, right?
No, I never heard.
Okay, so
Maven I
it's a
heard.
just yeah. So it is just used to Maven, just used to build your automation, build your project. Okay, so that and it is being driven by its POM, pom.xml that will be present over there, which has its property, Maven properties, and it will be help us to create a framework basically in which your dependency will be resolved and you will be able to run your project.
So this course contains how to use Maven things as well.
Yeah, obviously, when we'll go for modular scripting, we'll use Maven only, right? I have in this project. Once you set up, we'll tomorrow we'll start working on this ID. Once you'll install that, you will be able to see the pom.xml basically. Okay, and what is pom.xml? It is resolving all the dependencies. Okay, it's see,
Mm.
it's a group ID, artifact ID. Now Maven compiler, which will help to compile your scripts. Then the Gatling version. So it's building all the dependency that we run to run a Scala scripts. It is resolving everything over here.
Okay.
Gatling high charts, Gatling version, Scala library. Okay, using Scala 2.12.8. The path, what is the source directory. So everything has been defined in the pom.xml so that once you run your automation or you run your test. Okay, what is this? This is my test automation, right? Performance test
Mhm.
is there, but we don't have a specific tool. We are working in ID. So basically, we are creating a test automation to run our test. So all the dependency will be resolved using the pom.xml.
Okay.
Okay, cleared?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions? Go ahead, please, if you have any questions. Then I'll move forward. Okay. So once you try to create this dependency, you try to create one project. Okay, then we'll open the project. Let us open it. So I have just opened the project. Okay, you can see now understand what is this. Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So this is my project. This is my project name folder. We have pom.xml that has been taken care of by this. Okay, it is not able to pick up the version. Okay, we'll look into it later. It's of no use now. So if you'll go to src, you will get the test and scala. Okay, so test is your resources folder here. Here you have gatling.conf file, and scala you have engine, id path helper, and id recorder. Okay, so gatling.conf file will store all the configuration files we have. Okay, whatever we are configuring through the Gatling, these all files will be there. Let me tell you a few of the configurations by charting. Yeah. So somebody asked me yesterday, like how to get 98 response time and how to get some specific response time in the reports, right?
Yes, I asked you.
Yeah. So we have the in Gatling.conf we have one charting. Okay. So in charting you can see the lower bound, higher bound, percentile 1, percentile 2, percentile 3, and percentile 4. Okay, here you can id this is 50 percentile, this is 75th, this is 95th, and this is 99. You don't need 75, you need 98, you go ahead and change it with 98. Got it?
9090.
Yeah, whatever you like to do, you can go and change it over here.
Okay.
Then save it, restart your id and run your test. It will be able to work. Okay, let's move to the project that I already have. Okay. Yeah, so SRC test resources. In resources, you will have the bodies, you will have the data. Okay, so I have created one data. So in data folder, what should we put? We should all the parameter files in the data folder. Okay, so that it will be in sequential manner, and we don't have to put it untidy. So we are putting it, all the data will be put in the data file. Now what will happen, we have different targets over here. So let me open Scala. Okay, once I open the Scala, I have these three projects. If I'll open our demo, yeah. So this is actions, this is scenarios, this is simulations. Okay. So in the previous sessions, we have discussed regarding actions, scenarios, and simulations. Would you like to tell me what are the differences between actions, scenarios, and simulations? Anybody, please?
Action has request types and configs. Scenario has think time and loops. Simulation
Hmm?
has the actual user load, user volume, and types of the test.
Correct, correct. So what I am doing, I am putting all the actions in the action folder. I am putting all the scenarios in the scenario folder. I am putting all the simulation in the simulation folder. So from the simulation folder, I'll create one class object in simulation. Then I'll drive the objects. I'll call the objects of scenario and actions from my simulation to run the test. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll look into it, how to create and how to run. Now we have engine and recorder. These both things we need to understand. So recorder is something we need to start the recording. So I'll go and run recorder. Yeah, you can see your recording window has opened. So you can just run your test and start the recording or convert the har file or HTTP proxy, and you can record the scripts from here. Now once recording is done, scripting is done, I want to start my test. So I'll go and start run engine. Engine is to run the test. So once I'll click on run engine, it will give me the list of all the simulation present over my project, and I should, from options, I will choose one option like I have chosen 0. Okay, and run description optional, I will put it test. Then my test will start and it will create a report after test is completed. So you can see my test is running and the report has been generated. You can just copy the logs also that I have shown you in yesterday's session. So this is how we'll use the ID basically. So once you make the proper setup, we'll start working on this. Any question till now? Yeah, please go ahead and ask your questions. So, and please be ready with the setup tomorrow. Okay, we'll start doing the scripting hands-on on with action simulation on different module, and with a modular approach we'll create working on that. So till now we started it very slow, very basic, so that you are familiar with the concepts. So going forward tomorrow onwards we'll increase the pace and we'll start the scripting. So any concepts we that we have discussed in last three sessions, if you have any questions, please let me know. Else you will not be able to understand it properly going forward.
Uh, which application we will use for recording the test?
Two application I will use. One is UI and one is API. Okay. And for UI, I'll take any of the demo application we have, but it will have like home search PDP like this.
Okay, so we can cover a number of scenarios.
Number of scenarios in the sense, please elaborate.
Like in actual test, we are not checking only one scenario, correct? We have a list of many scenarios like
No, give me
log,
the scenario. No, I'm telling you, give me the scenario. Which flow?
login, searching a product, adding a product,
Yeah.
removing a product, then actually
Okay.
placing an order.
Okay. Login. We are not covering. The reason being is that the real application will not allow us to log in. Correct?
Okay,
They will bypass, but we are what we are covering homepage, launch page, search, catalog, PDP, add to cart, place order.
okay,
Works for you, right? And that will have multiple parameterization and correlation.
okay.
Anything else? Any more questions are we expecting?
We talked about correlation today. So like yesterday we saw
Hmm?
250 requests were there, and if there is a correlation, we are taking something from the response of previous request. And we also
Hmm.
saw that unless the response is coming coming back, we are not considering that request as completed. So what happens when there is something which we are taking from request one one's response, and it is not completed until request 2 is triggered.
No, 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 no. Don't get confused, please. Those were static requests, right?
Okay,
Those were
okay,
static requests. Those were JS, CSS, and they don't have anything dependency, right? What PNG will
okay,
do, it's just like a partial implementation of HTTP protocol, and any Ajax call is there which is responsible for making the look and feel of your website, loading an image or loading a banner that don't have any API logic or dependency of response to pass in the next request.
okay, okay,
Did it answer
understood.
your
So
question?
yes, yes, it did.
Okay. And yeah, what else, what else, more questions please. It's the first time, if you are looking into the Gatling, you should be having the more questions generally.
So for scripting, I don't know you use Jmeter or not, but is it
Hmm?
like difficult to script than Jmeter?
A Jmeter is a different tool, right? And we have session in Gatling, but Jmeter also, if you are good in the one of the scripting approach, any tool is good for you, right? You will not find it difficult if you have the basics of it.
Yes, it's, actually I have hands-on Jmeter. Like I am using Jmeter from last 5 years.
Yeah, then you will have be having the hands-on in, if you understand basically two things is there. Okay, let me tell you. One is if you understand the application understanding is very important. Okay.
Mhm.
And second is that you know the basics of the tool and the features of the tool.
Mhm.
Okay. If you understand the features and basics of the tool, you can, and you have the good understanding of the application, you will be able to replicate the same through the tool.
Correct.
Correct. That's what it will happen. But the Gatling is something UI, that UI is lacking over there in Gatling tool, right? You can see we are doing everything over the ID,
Mhm.
correct? So here you have to just concentrate for a while. When you are doing one or two scripts, you will be able to have hands-on. But first you need to understand the structure, how it is executing. Okay, once you understand the structure, then it will be like much easier Jmeter for you.
Okay, because all the tools like Jmeter, LoadRunner, then NeoLoad, all these have nice GUI. So they are
Mhm.
user friendly, quite user friendly. I'm not saying that Gatling is